Well, we're back on a PlayStation 2 game. I think you can probably tell from the Let's Plays I have so far that I really don't have modern consoles. And it's not really a big problem, because I usually prefer older games, with some exceptions. I mean, actually no. I like all games as long as they're good, if I'm being completely honest. But, whatever. And said that it was checking for an 8 megabyte memory card, but I actually have a 16 megabyte memory card. Something special like that. But, anyways, it's time for a little bit of story intro. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a tiny village by the name of Kamiki. Legend tells of a horrible beast that threatened the residents. It also tells of the wolf that risked it all to protect them. Controlling the very fabric of existence, this wolf stood up against a beast many times its size and banished the darkness. This ethereal wolf's valiant act ushered in an era of tranquility. The villagers' hearts swelled with respect and adoration of the wolf. You just gotta love the visuals of this game. And I'm not gonna say what it is yet, because we're not at the title screen, even though you can read the title of the video. So there's really no point in trying to keep it spoiler-free or anything like that. But, you know, I like to be unnecessary, I guess. But with this beautiful shot, we see that the game is Okami. This is a game that I've wanted to... Well, it's not that I've wanted to Let's Play it for a long time, but it's just a game that I really genuinely enjoy very greatly. And you'll probably see why I enjoy it once we get into it, and I'm definitely going to explain. And it's going back and... Oh, I didn't even know that this existed. But anyways, this is going to be a really long first episode just because of all the story intro and stuff, so I am going to go ahead and just go ahead and jump into things. Let's get started. Also, that's like the coolest part about the main menu screen. They're like, oh, Okami, oh, Okami, oh. I just think it's really awesome. Story by Hideki Kamiya. Long, long ago, a tiny hamlet known as Kamiki lay nestled in a grove of proud and beautiful cherry blossoms. Each and every tree around the quiet burg was honored as a god. However, the village was not without its dark secrets. To satiate the appetite of Orochi, a fearsome cave-dwelling beast, a young maiden was offered as a sacrifice at the annual festival. With a body like a mountain and 8 heads mounted on necks the size of tree trunks, its blood-red eyes alone were said to curse anyone who gazed into them. No one dared disobey the horrific beast. When the night of the sacrifice drew near, a mysterious white wolf appeared outside the village. This wolf, its coat as brilliant as snow, was dubbed Shiranui. The wolf kept a watchful eye on anyone who ventured outside the village, and made a habit of patrolling the streets at night. People assumed the wolf to be a familiar of Orochi. One villager took it upon himself to face the fearsome Shiranui. The warrior Nagi attempted many times to challenge the wolf, but his attempts were thwarted by Shiranui's swift movements. Before long, the night of the accursed festival had arrived. A white-plumed arrow heralded the coming sacrifice. Piercing the sky, the arrow sunk its shaft squarely into the home of Nami, the village's most beautiful maiden. Nagi, harboring a secret love for Nami, was enraged by this sign. Determined to put an end to Orochi once and for all, Nagi traveled to the beast's cave in place of his beloved. The Moon Cave, a place as dark as evil itself, served as Orochi's home. As Nagi stood bravely before the entrance, a beast appeared, eyes glowing crimson upon 8 thrashing necks. Orochi stood tall before him, anxious for another sacrifice. Nagi leapt with incredible grace, swinging his blade valiantly. On and on he sliced, well into the moonless night. But Orochi's hide was like steel, the blade left nary a scratch. At long last, Nagi, his energy spent from the intense battle, dropped to his knees, fatigued and gasping for breath. He knew he was staring death in the face. It was then that the wolf appeared. As if to protect Nagi, it stood its ground before Orochi. In the darkness of the cave, the wolf's coat shone brilliantly. Alas, it was Shiranui, the wolf that dwelled outside the village. Bearing its fearsome claws, Shiranui leapt towards Orochi. Orochi reared its terrifying heads, readying its fangs for battle. The two beasts struggled wildly, thrashing in the darkness. Mysterious and terrifying, the spectacle continued. Shiranui summoned gusts of divine wind to counter Orochi's flames. As Orochi closed in on Shiranui, sharpened claws glistening, a gigantic tree suddenly sprouted forth, shielding the wolf. Shiranui fought gallantly to gain the upper hand. However, Orochi, protected by a mystical power, was not easily bested. Shiranui, covered in gashes, majestic coat dyed crimson, stood exhausted before the mighty Orochi. Orochi saw a chance to strike what would be the final blow. But Shiranui refused to give in. With its last ounce of strength, the majestic wolf gazed heavenward and unleashed a mighty howl. Suddenly, the black clouds overhead dissipated. The light from above glinted off Nagi's sword as a beacon of hope. Guided by his sword, Nagi, who had been taking shelter in the shadows, stood proudly to face his adversary. Channeling all of his strength into his scarred and battered arms, he leapt ferociously toward Orochi, his sword poised high. The golden sword danced in his hands like a puppet on a string. One by one, Orochi's fearsome heads separated from their owner. Orochi's broken body collapsed in a lake of its own blood. In that instant, the curse that plagued the villagers was lifted. As the battle subsided, the sun shone once again in the sky. Shiranui had succumbed to Orochi's poison and struggled to breathe. Nagi scooped the beast into his arms and returned to Kamiki. When they reached the village, Shiranui was no longer moving. The village elder gently stroked the wolf's head. In response, Shiranui let out a hoarse and pitiful bark, then closed its eyes and drifted off as if into slumber. Peace had at last returned to Kamiki village. In honor of Shiranui's heroic exploits, the villagers erected a shrine and placed a statue of the wolf within it. Nagi's sword was christened Tsukuyomi and placed inside the moon cave. The villagers all looked forward to an age of endless peace. But then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. However, this is not the end of the story. There is more to this tale than most people know. 100 years had passed since Nagi and Shiranui's heroic exploits. It happened so quickly that no one in the village even took notice. Is this the legendary sword? Is this Tsukuyomi, the sword that banished the dreaded Orochi? No, it couldn't be. It's just a legend. Nothing but a fairy tale. Well, son, you diddly-done goofed. Oh, he who seeks power, he who has broken my bonds. Speak the words, I wish darkness unto the world. Utter that prayer unto me, and unleash my power. I hate to take away from the drama of the moment, but I just love the visual style of the game so much. A horrible tragedy suddenly swept over the land. However, there was one village that seemed to escape a terrible curse. The tiny settlement of Kamiki Village enjoyed the protection of a sacred tree. It is here that the real story begins. Wood Sprite Sakuya. How troublesome. This is just like the ancient prophecy of doom. What has transpired to bring about such calamity? We must act quickly. There's no time to lose. My power has diminished over the years I've spent protecting this area. I don't have much time left in this world. Amaterasu, now is the time. We have never needed your power more. Shine your divine light upon this broken and polluted world. Let your heavenly rays become our hope as you guide us all. Time to meet the main hero of the game, the great goddess Amaterasu, which may appear in a text box in a couple seconds. Okay, Okami Amaterasu. Okami just means, I think it means sun goddess, but it means goddess at the very least. Ah, such divine white light, such beauty and grace. The only one capable of such a wondrous spectacle is none other than our mother and the origin of all that is, Amaterasu. The text scrolling is really weird and you can't change the speed, so oftentimes I'm kind of going to stumble over words because delivery is weird. How delightful to see that the savior whose brave sacrifices sealed away the evil demons so many years ago has not changed one bit. Seeing you emerge after so many years, spent as a statue, brings happiness to my heart. Sniff. And yes, I said sniff instead of sniffing. Deal with it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Amaterasu, gaze above you and take in the condition of the sky. Since your untimely departure from our midst, the world has succumbed to devious and vicious beasts. They have ravaged our fine and bountiful country of Nippon, but never have the circumstances been worse than they are at this very moment. Please use your powers to banish the darkness and punish those who would do us harm. Eh? What is this? Has something stolen its way into my robe? Ho ho ho! Oh hee hee hee! Ah! That's a really creepy laugh, actually. That's unnerving, if I say so myself. Phew, what on earth? It's time to meet the best character in the game. You again. I mean, arguably the best character. He's definitely one of my favorites. Ow, 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 ow. Are you nuts? Boy, for a little thing, you sure make a big fuss. I was just trying to make the conversation a bit more interesting, that's all. Were you napping in my clothes again, Bug? Bug, I told you 1,000 times not to call me that. I'm a wandering artist. The name's Isun. Wandering artist Isun. I'll show you just how great I am, and it won't be long till you're bowing before my great brush. This text speed is so slow, I read so quickly. So I'm not gonna lie, that looks nothing like the character we've already seen. But what do you think? Even cuter than the real thing? No. Even, what is delivery? Alright, I'm gonna stop trying so hard. What's with you, Furball? You look kinda down in the dumps. Actually, you look kinda familiar. Got it. You look just like that statue of Shiranui. And Isun gets covered in wolf slobber for the first of many times in the game. Whoa, what do you think you're doing? Are you crazy? A handsome guy like me should never be covered in wolf slobber. You'll regret messing with the great Isun. Don't make me use my prized sword, Denkomaru, against you. Not gonna lie, that's not very intimidating coming from a guy who's 2 inches tall. What's that growling sound? And why is it so dark anyway? Oh great god Amaterasu, I've used all the power I have to protect Kamiki Village. The village lives on. Their spirits lie encased in my fruit. Cut it free, and the village will be reborn. I trust in you. I know that you will lead us down the right path. Only your awesome power can restore life to the world. The trees return to normal, huh? That Sakuya girl sure said some weird stuff. The villagers' spirits are being kept inside the fruit. That's the fruit. That girl said that if you cut it down, the village will be restored. But it's awfully high up. It's awfully high up there. If you don't use some kind of special power, there's no way you're gonna reach it. This darkness is really getting to me too. A lot can happen while you're taking a nap. Talking a nap? How do I English? Anyways, it's time to finally get into the gameplay of this game. And so, we can't do anything about that up there, so we're just going to run in here. And I'm going to go ahead and have time to talk about the fact that this is an adventure game, styled after the Legend of Zelda series, and based in a world wherein all Japanese mythology and Shinto and stuff like that is true and all happening at about the same time. Really awesome concept and setting for a game, and I'm very much looking forward to playing it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Got awfully quiet all of a sudden. I don't remember any place like this in the village. Well, we better keep our eyes peeled. And yes, we can finally change the text speed. You can use the right analog stick to look around. The L1 button changes your point of view. Boy, you really look so helpless. You sure you're gonna be okay? And yes, we have free control of the camera, which is amazing. And so we're going to go ahead and run forward and get interrupted pretty much immediately by another tutorial. Hold on, that's an origin mirror. They say once your reflection appears on its surface, your memories will be stored in the mirror for all eternity. Well, to put it shortly, you can save your progress here, but make sure you have what you need to save your progress. I'm talking about a memory card 8 megabytes for PlayStation 2. The fourth wall breaking is so real. Let me give you a little advice. You should save a number of game files. That way you could always go back if you get stuck or something. Gotta be prepared, especially while you're still learning the ropes. What he's saying is actually kind of important. This is a game with multiple different save files. I want to say it has as many as like 50. But I'm not going to be saving right now since I'm in the middle of an episode. But basically you walk up to it and there's a little interface and stuff like that. And now it's time. Look at all those pots just waiting to be broken. If you bust them, there might be something good inside. Press the square button to bust them with your head. And as you might have been able to tell from everything so far, way to go, my furry friend. You can do that anytime you see something you can break. But as you might be able to tell from everything you've seen so far, this is the PlayStation 2 version of the game. Okami is a game that was originally released for PlayStation 2 and later ported to the Wii. There's a lot of debate as to which version is technically superior. As for me, I've played both and I love the crap out of both, and there are different things about each of them that are better, and I'll get into them once we get into them. Whoa, hold on there, Furball, get a load of that. That chest looks mighty tempting. Let's go check it out. Getting up that high ought to be a piece of cake. Press the X button to jump, then press the X button again to do a wall jump. But make sure you press it firmly so you jump really high. So yes, there is actually jumping functions in this game. I knew you could do it. They say good luck is found in high places, so keep your eyes peeled, we don't want to miss any treasure. There is jump functionality in this game, which makes it different from Legend of Zelda in that regard. And so, right off the bat, what I'm gonna say for the PlayStation 2 version versus the Wii, the PlayStation 2 controller is just so much more comfortable than like the Wiimote and the Nunchuck. It's just so much better, in my opinion. Anyways, we obtained Holy Bone S. Amaterasu's favorite snack, restores 3 units of solar energy. And so that's basically going to be like a healing item. We haven't been able to take damage yet, but we'll get into that. Looks like the bridge is out. This shouldn't be so hard. Amaterasu, was it? That's kind of long. Mind if I call you Ami? Listen, Ami, ever heard of the spirits of the brush? Good brushwork has its own soul, at least that's what they say. Just watch. It'd take all day to... I'm scrolling too fast. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? And so, Isud is going to draw in the bridge, and then it is going to magically be restored. Nice, huh? It's just a little technique I've mastered called rejuvenation. It's one of many brush techniques that use divine power. It's a brush god power that can restore broken or missing things. I've practiced really hard just to master this one technique. But there are 13. Each one is a power of one of the 13 brush gods. Originally, all 13 were a single powerful deity. When the deity died, its power was split into 13 separate gods. The gods now dwell... hiccups. The gods now dwell within objects all around us, but... God or no god, how could anyone have the power to master all 13? Well, now we can kind of get into the fact that instead of equipment in this game, we're going to have brush techniques. And we're going to be learning all of them over the course of the game, and I'm very much looking forward to showing how those work. River of Heavens. The River of Heavens. They mean the fabled Stardust River? But I sure don't see anything like that around here. It couldn't be that little puddle over there, could it? Well, we can't do anything about that. So, let's go ahead and work our way up here. And when we're up at the top of this cliff, then we can see, up in the sky, wow, look at the stars twinkle. I haven't seen such a beautiful nighttime sky in ages. Hey, look, are those stars forming a pattern, or is it just me? There's one missing. Guess I'll just have to draw the missing star. And so, he tries to draw in the star, but he's not that overpowered. Bah, looks like I'm just not ready to draw missing stars. Press the R1 button to hold the brush, then the square button to draw. I sure spent a heck of a lot of time practicing that. Mumble. So, in order to use the brush, what you do is you press the R1 button, and you draw with the square button. And for the Wii version of the game, then I don't remember what button you would press to activate it, but you would actually draw with the Wiimote's pointer, which actually made the drawing controls much, much better in that game. I'm going to outright say that it is much easier and faster to use the brush in the Wii version than it is in the PlayStation 2 version. Ah, why, if it isn't Mother Amaterasu. I apologize for not contacting you sooner during these long years. Having never forgotten you, I, Yomigami, God of Restoration, have eagerly awaited this day when we could again meet. While you were away, the 13 spirits of the brush that you once possessed, including myself, have been scattered across this land of men, and now lie in disarray. I became a constellation and managed to survive until now. The time has come for you to seek out and reunite all the techniques. Your power is what is needed to restore the dried riverbed of the heavens and renew the flow of stardust. And so, now we finally get our first formal brush power. And I'm pretty sure that symbol means restoration, but I'm not entirely sure, and I might look it up and throw it up on screen, but I'm not really going to be teaching too much about the mythology of this game because I haven't bothered to do any research ahead of time, so I'd have to do it all in post. Wow, that was Yomigami, the god of rejuvenation. Wait, so you have the power of rejuvenation now? Can you really use it to restore the River of Heavens? That would mean you were as good with a brush as yours truly. Nah, couldn't be true. Who else could master this incredible god technique? Well, we may or may not be the sun goddess. I mean, what can I say? River of the Heavens. Wonder if drawing some stardust would get the river flowing again. Nah, it's one thing to fix a bridge, but fixing a starry river? There's no way you could pull off a stunt like that. Challenge accepted. So, time to get into how to use restoration. When you're in the brush menu, all you gotta do is scribble over the area that you're trying to restore, and it will automatically take care of the rest for you. Whoa! A river of stardust! So this really must be the River of Heavens. But what I really want to know is who the heck drew the darn thing? I'm standing right here, Isu. Anyways, we gotta swim across the river here, and head towards the giant flashing light. And if this area seems really bright to you, it's really mostly just this area that's really bright. You obtained Astral Pouch. Look what you found, Furball. This Astral Pouch here is amazing. It can swallow up lots of food. Then when it's full, it can revive. It's basically a 1-up meter. Let's start feeding it with whatever food we can find around here. Like I said, this game is stylized after Legend of Zelda, so I would say the easiest parallel for the Astral Pouch is it's kind of like a fairy bottle in Legend of Zelda, except you have to fill it gradually instead of just finding a fairy and trapping it in the bottle. That's the easiest way of putting it, I guess. And so we got a bunch of different food here, and yes, it will do that every single time you get a new food item. Anyways, going to go ahead and talk about the loading screens. In this game, the loading screens actually serve a purpose, and you can play kind of a little mini-game with them, and acquire collectibles known as Demon Fangs. Demon Fangs are going to be very, very important later on, and I am going to be doing what I can to collect as many of them as possible. But more on that later. Anyways, we gotta run up the path here, and running in this game works on kind of a momentum system where you'll gradually gain speed as you're traveling along. And so, you're gonna want to come off to the side right here and obtain a stray bead. What is a stray bead? Well, think of it as your golden skulltulas. Like I said, it's based off of Legend of Zelda. This is your collectible. There are a heck of a lot of these things, and I'm going to be collecting every single one of them. Yes, every single one. Anyways, moving right along over here, there is an area that we are going to get yet another new ability. Is this the legendary shrine? We must be in the Cave of Nagi. The legendary hero Nagi is enshrined here. He vanquished evil 100 years ago with the help of the White Wolf Shiranui. First the River of Heavens and now this place? Where the heck are we, Furball? Boy, this place is a wreck. See, that sword's in really bad shape. The gods sure didn't do much to protect this place. And sorry for the awkward cut already in the first episode, but this is proving to be a rather long one, and my computer is having none of it. Anyways, what we need to do here is use our power of rejuvenation to draw back the sword. It's as simple as that. That really was your brushwork all this time. How'd you get so good? Exactly who are you anyway? Hey, there's another constellation. This one looks like a... So, we gotta fill in this one, and just draw a star. And it's time to meet one of the coolest brush gods in the entire game. And it is... Gigantic Sword Man. Well, rat. Well, well, well. If it isn't Mother Amaterasu. It's been a long time. With all these monsters around, the only place I could hide was in this shrine dedicated to ancient heroes. If there is anything I can do to assist you in your endeavors, I'm at your service. Make good use of this sword, as it was designed to conquer evil. And so, Tachigami, the god of rending, I want to say is his official title, gives us... Ooh, once the text box pops up... Oh, I guess it's not going to give a text box. That was the god Tachigami, master of the Power Slash technique. Wait a minute, if you're getting all these powers, then you're just like that Shiranui. You know, the wolf that fought and died alongside the great Nagi? When Shiranui died, the wolf's power was split into the 13 brush gods. This is crazy. Shiranui and Nagi? It's just like the legend. Well anyway, I've never seen this Power Slash technique myself. How about showing your stuff off on that boulder over there? Let me see you slice it in half by drawing a single line. I won't believe it till I see it. So, in order to use Power Slash, we just draw a straight line. Wow, I didn't think you had it in you, Furball. I'm not even in the same league as you. Guess I really overestimated myself. Hey, Furball. Amaterasu, I've made up my mind. If you're Shiranui Reborn, that means you can master all 13 techniques, right? In that case, I think I'll tag along until I'm as good as you. Lucky you. Well, it's no use trying to change my mind. There's no stopping me once I've made a decision. But enough about me. Now that you've mastered the Power Slash, you can cut down that thing Sakuya was talking about. Let's go back and give it a shot. Well, we would go do that, but I kind of made this episode really long because I didn't just want to have a bunch of cutscenes as a video. So, in this episode, we got started on our fantastic new journey and acquired 2 of the 13 brush powers we'll be acquiring over the course of our journey. And in the next episode, we'll be headed back to Kamiki Village to see about restoring the villagers. See you guys then.